bit busy. Welcome once and first and foremost to the AAOL Season 6. We are just about to kick it off right now. Today's going to be a very good match. Both teams currently 3-0. As you can see, the teams that will be playing today are No Mercy versus Meta Esketi. Now, just before we move into the match, let's talk about the map pool. I think it is going to be Busan. Apologies if I do get the maps wrong. But let's talk about Busan for a bit. Busan has 3 stages. This will be a control point map, so both teams will try to fight for possession to a point, and you will try to get it to up to 100% to win one of the maps. You need to win best 2 out of 3 to win the whole map entirely. Now, Busan is first and primarily has always been quite a heavy goats based composition. If we talk about mecha base, most teams generally run the more basic goats composition with the Zen in it. But once we moved out from there, we are most likely going to see a bit of variation with the compositions teams will run. If it talks about downtown, we might see some Widowmaker, some Ash, just because of the number of high ground areas, and some parts of the point also are being encompassed by a large walkway right above. So there might be some Hammond, might be some Ash, a lot more DPS orientated since the Lucio nerfs. And finally, if we go to the Bongo, I'm just gonna say the drum map, can't really remember what it's called, apologies. We might see a lot of Hammond there, just because you are able to just circle around the point as it is. Maybe Goat's composition as well. Goats has always been quite favored for that, just because they are able to stand on that very, very small point and deliver some large amounts of damage. So we will see how well both teams generally stack up. We are just about to pop into it. Let's see what map we are going to get. And I think that's really about it right now. As you can see on the team of No Mercy, we have Flibby, Mayor, Parched, Pigeon, Boone, Button, and Rennie. On team of Meta Esketi, we have Mikazuki, Mora Man 83. I'm pretty sure Mora is a woman. Oh no, it's actually Mora Man. Okay, that's a weird one. King Penguin, Arnie, Rio, and Max BP with K Rocket on the spectator side for Meta Esketi. If he is most likely he is a 7th player, just in case someone on his team may DC or be called in as a specialist sub. Now we're just waiting for everyone else to get ready and before we pop into the match. Seems there might be some technical issues between both teams. It seems that Meta Esketi are taking their time to click R in the chat. Perhaps they forgot how to do that. But yeah, I think they might have forgot. If any Meta Esketi fans or anyone who knows some of the Meta Esketi players, just tell them please click enter R and press enter once again. We want to try and get this match underway so I do not choke anyway partial true due to the fact that I am solo casting. Okay, since we might have a sub actually coming out, No Mercy. Boons, it might be moving out. If not, they are trying to troll me right now. Pigeon is saying, Boone, please come back. He does miss you. He might be your lover, for all we know. Let's see how this turns out. Nope, everyone is just talking right now. There is a bid of 20 pesos to see if Boone is able to leave, so they are trying to throw the match. This is what we call match rigging, and it is not permitted within any tournament for that matter. Seems that one of the players is currently AFK, I'm assuming. As far as the chat says, we may have a small technical issue right now. And hopefully he will come back soon and we are able to start the match. Okay, now both teams are ready. Let's start it off right now. Alright, now then, let's get into the match, shall we? Let's see what map we are going to be blessed with today. Let's hope Jeff Kaplan gives us a decent match that's not going to be goats v goats. And it is going to be downtown. As I said previously, there are a number of high ground spots that Ashe or Widowmaker or any sort of long range goats are able to at least try and contest on both sides actually. And then there is the big walkway here that teams can also try and put a soldier, McCree, or any sort of medium range DPS up. And as you can see on the side by the point where the trains are, if you play a Hammond, you are able to try and boot people off to the side, or maybe if you are playing a Lucio. Let's see what both teams generally choose in this upcoming match. I'm guessing both teams are going to try and size each other up right now. Might see a bit more of a goats play first, just coming up from both teams, just highly dependent on are you going to see a Rhine-based goats or are you going to see Winston-based goats. And now let's see, we have about 5 more seconds, and then we'll see what type of heroes both teams are going to pick.
Ready for battle.
Coming out right now, you can see that on the side of Meta Esketi, Meta Esketi, you are seeing some Widowmaker with the basic Rhine, but there's a bit of a weird DPS comp actually. You have King Penguin on that D.Va. Let's see if he's actually going to stick on it. D.Va and Rhine, not very good 2 combination. And the DPS is also less to be desired considering they are playing a Genji and a Widowmaker, not something that generally synergizes well together. But on the side of No Mercy, they are playing a dive-based scout, and Rio gets an early pick right there with the Widowmaker. It's a 5v6 right now, and let's see what Meta is getting. They decide to go straight to the point right now instead of going into the enemy team, and now they are just fighting on the outskirts right now. It's a bit of a trade right now. Boone's trying to get as much ultimate charge as he can. He's going to get taken down extremely fast without any help right now. This is going to be a 4v6, and the first fight is going in the way of Meta Esketi right now. Let's see if are they going to able to cap the point or get an early stagger. It seems that they are going to cap the point first, and on the side of No Mercy, they are going to have to reset right here. Flippy getting picked out quite early there into the fight. Now the fight goes in. Boone did have to use a jump, so he's going to have to wait a bit. He's actually getting isolated right now. If the team of Meta Esketi are able to push in, no, they do not decide to go there. Button does use the Valkyrie ultimate, just try to keep his team alive as they try to jump in. Let's see, both teams currently just poking on right now, but on the team of Meta Esketi, they are getting extremely low. Moira Man right now just on a sliver of health, but does have that nano boost if needed. No, Pigeon manages to get the punch onto Moira, and that is a quick flick coming out of No Mercy right there just to get the point, and fairly well played actually. They only had to invest the only single ultimate from Button, which is the Mercy Valk, and she's already back up to 50%. But on the other side of Meta Esketi, they actually have 5 ultimates, actually no 6 ultimates, with Rio just popping the Widow sights right now. We might see Flippy counter that once he gets his sights up. He's only about 6%. That Boone getting extremely low after getting shot right now. He's kind of have to back up. And now Flippy does have his sights as well. Chooses not to push into a Moraman right now, out of position, but unfortunately no one's going to be able to at least get a note. You see Boone tries to get in on it, but just gets left. Really gets the kill on, gets the early crucial pick onto Arnie right there with the pulse bomb. And Flippy gets the counter kill onto Rio. That's a bit of a payback for the start of the fight. And this fight is done and dusted with the control still in favor of No Mercy with 5 ultimates up right now. On the other side of Meta Esketi, there is also 5 ultimates. So here comes the Nano Blade. Here comes the Nano Blade coming out of Meta Esketi. Let's see if this gets anything right now. Currently, it has got nothing, but Rio gets a kill on the Flippy. Here comes the Earth Shatter, and Boone is on the floor. Is he gonna? Here comes the D.Va Bomb. Does get the kill on the Button. Pigeon gets a counter kill on the Mikazuki. It's basically a brawl on the point right now. Both teams basically having to invest every single ultimate they have, with the exception of Max BP on the side of Meta Esketi. But it seems that on the back of that shatter from Arnie, they are able to cap the point and accrue more percentage points as the tick on the side of No Mercy pushes up to 63%. Both teams generally have no ultimates. They're gonna have to go for a dry push on this one. Max BP, the only one with that Lucio sound barrier, is gonna be very helpful in this upcoming fight if they are gonna have to invest in ultimate. On the side of No Mercy, no one is generally close to an ultimate with the exception of Rini. Rini now up to 83%, but let's see that pulse bomb's gonna have to be pulse bomb's gonna have any impact with the fact that Max BP does have that sound barrier. Here comes Rio pushing in with the sights right now. Everyone on this side is gonna get hit, and Rio gets a counter kill on the Flippy once again. Rio gets a punch onto Boone. Arnie gets a kill onto Fair Parch, and this is another fight won in favor of Meta Esketi. On the side of No Mercy, they really didn't have much of a play right there. Rini actually used a pulse bomb in that fight, but unfortunately didn't get much of anything. They should have technically gone for a dry push, considering that the most of the team didn't have any other ultimates aside from that. Rini does now switch on to the ham and just try to get on point with a high on the HP. Moraman right now does have that nano boost, and Mikazuki is at 93%. He goes to that Dragon Blade, and Arnie does have the Shadow right now on the side of Meta Esketi. There's 5 ultimates on the side of Meta Esketi, but it seems that it's all for nothing. It's Boone and Mare Punch gets 2 crucial kills, but Moraman and Mikazuki counter back, so it's 2 for 2 right now on the point, 4v4, and let's see who's going to be able to come to this. Boone currently pressuring on to Moraman, but let's get the kill on to it, and now it's a 3v4 on the point. Mikazuki's not going to last long as he cannot deflect the Boone's Tesla cannon right here, and with the kill on the King Penguin, the point should revert back in favor of No Mercy. Fascinating enough, now Meta Esketi is on the back foot after actually having to invest a large number of ultimates, particularly actually 4 ultimates in that entire fight that they would generally favor to win, unfortunately. But now the tables have turned, and No Mercy has 3 ultimates, and with a 4th coming up extremely quickly. Rini right now just poking King Penguin. He's gonna get his ultimate extremely quickly. Hope he doesn't get taken out right now. And Flippy gets a crucial kill onto Arnie. Arnie had the Earth Shadow, but unfortunately he's not gonna be able to use it right now. If they are quick, No Mercy is gonna be able to wipe the rest of the team. Yep, they get the kill onto Max BP. That's 2 down. Here comes the Dragon Blade. It's gonna have to be huge if they want any chance of getting the point back. But no, Flippy gets a counter Dragon Blade kill onto Mikazuki. Arnie uses the Earth Shadow, but unfortunately it was too far away to get any sort of real value. Mare Parch gets a kill onto Rio. Boone is jumping in onto the Moraman. He's gonna get taken out, and miraculously enough, No Mercy brings that fight back from the brink in a 99-99 situation right there. Very good play coming out of No Mercy in terms of their divings right now, with the exception that the fact that Rio is actually getting the better picks compared to the counterpart onto Flippy in that Widow 1v1, the much more coordinated dive from No Mercy rather than the more reactionary punish coming out Arnie was what sealed the deal for his team right there. Now moving on to the drum portion of Busan. Unfortunately, I do not really know the name. You're gonna see a more traditional compositions being used, with the fact that Meta Esketi is going for an Ana Goats rather than the Zen Goats. And on the side of No Mercy, they are going for a more dive heavy version of a triple tank dive with a Sombra, just for a much more heavy disruption. And I think they are trying to use this against the Goats composition, so they did spec well into it. Here comes the Anime coming up. Moraman right now, sorry, out of button, did get eaten by it. And right now it's just really poke battle from No Mercy. It seems that Mikazuki did use both the bubbles actually. If they are able to push it in the end punish, there'll be a very crucial kill. Rini does get low, but does have the E to get out of it. Boone's gonna have no choice but to dive in alone without any sort of support just to try and stop the cap coming in, but unfortunately he gives his life away for it, and the Goats composition of Meta Esketi able to get the crucial first pick onto Boone, and they should be able to just clean up the rest of No Mercy as they try to retreat. A bit of a sloppy play coming out of there. The whole point of this composition is trying to follow up on what the that's a very crucial kill onto Mare Parch right there. He got stalled out. It's gonna take another 6 seconds off the clock right there. It's gonna push it up to about 30% before the next engagement is gonna happen. But coming back to it, you can see the Flippy is close to that EMP. So that's gonna be a very crucial ultimate coming into this fight. They're gonna have to be very efficient in their ultimate usage if they want to get this point. Here comes the EMP right now, and Ryo is getting low, but unfortunately Arnie gets a kill on the Boon once again. Mirror Punch gets a counter kill on Mikazuki. They're not gonna have the grab in this fight, but Ryo does have the rally right now, and here comes an Earth Shatter getting the pin on the button. This fight is done, and thus that it's going to go in favor of the Ghost composition, even after a tremendous EMP from Flibby that hit about 5 players there. Coming into the fight once again, it seems that on the side of No Mercy, they are done and they are tired of running that composition. They are going to counter back with their own mirror composition of the Ghost comp. Unfortunately, they are down a number of crucial ultimates actually. The only ultimates up currently is the Diva Bomb and the Lucio ult. Not something that you can try and chain in well together, but on the side of Meta Esketi, they have 4 ultimates up right now, and the clock is ticking up to 87%. This is going to be one crucial fight. This bomb has to be huge. He's going to have to put on his best Poco impression if he wants to get the fight. Here comes the Graviton. Here comes a huge Bionade. Actually gets a number of them, but Lucio ultimate actually saves him. But Rini is going to get picked out after a Earth Shatter coming out of Arnie. This fight is just about to be finished. King Penguin gets a kill on the Mirror Punch, and it seems that it was a bit too late for No Mercy to switch onto that Ghost composition due to the fact that they were down so many ultimates in that fight. And Meta Esketi, a clean 100-0, taking it back, trying to show up that this is how you play the Ghost composition against No Mercy. With that, we are moving into Mecha Base. Now, Mecha Base has generally been the favorite for this Ghost composition for the longest time since Ghost comp has come out. So it is safe to say that Meta Esketi, after their previous performance, it should be quite favored in this fight to take the series actually. Let's see what happens. Meta Esketi don't fix what ain't broken. They're sticking with their normal Ghost composition. But on the side of No Mercy, they're going for the Baptiste. Let's see how well they actually push this off. Rini on the Hanzo and Flibby on the Mei. They're trying to wall people off. Nope, Flibby does switch off to the... Maybe does switch off to... No, it actually does switch back to the Mei right now. And let's see how this fight goes. Fight goes in right now with Meta Esketi in the driver's seat. They are pushing in to the side but Boon actually gets a huge counter charge on the point of Arnie. Baptiste's immortality field right now just about to wear off, and seems that someone is taking a nap. Without the Rhine Shield right now, this is the perfect chance for No Mercy to take an early lead into this fight right now. They're going down the point, but unfortunately Arnie gets get back on the point, but the Baptiste does get the ultimate back up, but unfortunately no one is at the recipient end to at least try and get it. Boon just gets done, and he's about to get taken down, but no, the tables have turned with King Penguin popping off, getting the kill on the button. Mikazuki gets a kill on the Pigeon, and after a disastrous first fight, actually with Arnie actually getting killed, he's actually now in the driver's seat with the ultimates. And Meta Esketi does get first blood. Meta Esketi right now pushing up with about close to about 5 ultimates, with the other side of No Mercy only having close to about 3 with the but both teams with the Graviton. They are trying to go for a Graviton Dragon here, but with the amount of healing that Meta Esketi has right now, it might be a problem. They're gonna have to bet the fact that Max BP does not have that Lucio Sound Barrier, which is gonna be the crucial ultimate that would stop it. But it seems that Moraman gets an early kill on the Flibby. He was a bit out of position right there, but Boon gets a counter kill on the Ryo, and Mikazuki does kill himself somehow. But here comes a huge shadow coming out of Arnie, and that seals the deal into the fight for Meta Esketi. And after that huge shatter, those teams are gonna come back from that point, a cruise up to more than 40%. And they didn't have to use that many ultimates actually. Arnie, I think, probably the only one having to invest that Earth Shatter into that fight. But on the side of No Mercy, they do have the Dragon combo right now. Max BP coming in at 93%. Here comes the Dragon. Are they going to be able to push that Dragon before he gets a Sound Barrier right now? It's going to be crucial, but no. Mikazuki gets a triple kill, gets a kill onto Rini, Button, and Pigeon. This fight, that was an incredibly fast fight. Max Mikazuki popping off right there, getting a quad kill push coming up to 70% and counting. This is most probably going to be the last fight, and they have the large amount of ultimates. Arnie gonna have to get a huge shadow if he wants to try and win this fight right here, right now for his team. But it seems that Flippy is going to use the Mail Ice Wall. But MacBP countering back. Here comes a shadow. It gets two people on the floor. Are they going to be able to capitalize on it? Yes, they are. Mikazuki gets a kill onto the Mare Pouch. Aine gets a kill onto Boone. Without the two tanks, the Ghost composition is dead. Flipping, the only one left on the point, is going to get taken out quickly. And Button does get off the point. They're going to have to kill the main now if they want to just seal this up. But this game looks done and dusted with Meta Esketi showing who is the better Ghost comp team. And takes this map another 100-0 just as long as they kill Boone. Yep, there it is. Killed the... I don't think anyone else is going to be able to get him up. Mare Pouch just standing behind. That's the ball. You're just going to roll around. Oh, you get Nano Boost. This might actually come back from it. Let's see how well this goes. Here comes a Graviton. Gets a kill onto Button right now. And it seems that No Mercy aren't going down without a fight. Here comes a Doomfist out of Flippy. Here comes a huge shadow. Mare Pouch gets a two-piece. Boone is not gonna touch, and that's done and dusted. Like I said before, Meta Esketi, a bit of a prolonged fight, but does manage to take the last two maps of what their Ghost competition 100-0, showing their skills on that very favorite comp. Oh, he actually managed to get the flank in this play of the game, and a huge anti actually coming out of Moraman to just seal that fight up. Actually, that's a very good play. And very good team synergy right there. Alright, now let's move back into the lobby. We are now gonna have a second caster coming in with us in a moment. Just gonna invite him. We are going to move on to another match right now, and I'm trying to find... Yep, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a second caster coming in right now. Sandshark is going to join me in the desk, and let's see what the next map is. We are going to go into Hollywood right now.
Greetings, everyone. I'm sorry for my late arrival, and hello to Blackburn. I just saw that you were commentating the match on your own, and I felt kind of sorry for you, so I thought I'd chip in and help you out a little bit, add a bit of dynamic to the commentary.
Thank you very much. My throat is actually parched right now. I'm going to get a drink of water. You can give us some details on the map, which is going to be Hollywood.
Yes, Hollywood. Now, if you could please fill me in on what the last result was.
Meta Esketi dominated No Mercy with that Ghost composition, but aside from the Ghost composition, both teams are generally quite even in terms of the dive base or Widow based compositions.
Yeah, both look like Diamond, Platinum, Masters based teams around that spectrum, I believe. Oh, here we are already entering the game. Yep, Platinum and Diamonds. So Hollywood definitely consists of some very interesting compositions from either side. Again, Goats is still favored in this meta, so we could be seeing anything happen, but we are seeing a few more variations, especially with Baptiste thrown into play. His immortality field, if used smartly, is usually can be a game changer or a game loser, one or the other. And I need to double check what team is what, because my colors are confused. So
as of right now, Meta Esketi is in red and No Mercy is still in blue.
Okay, No Mercy is in blue. Okay, so No Mercy looks like they will be defending first round, and Meta Esketi will be attacking. So, again, really just to wait around and find out. It might take me a few minutes to get into my commentating groove, because I haven't done it for a little bit. As well, I haven't only joined in the second map. So, from what I've been hearing, it has been quite a bit of a shutout on Busan. Didn't go to a third, only went to a second. But we've been seeing some interesting compositions. This could be a dummy pick with the Torb over here. Torb, Symmetra, and Bastion. That's a bit of a varied pick there for the attacking phase. Could be just a bit of a troll. And it looks like Moriman's having a little bit of a seizure. I know that robots don't take medication, but that might want to be looked into. Might be a computer virus of some sort. Looks like I'm having a bit of fun and spawn over there. As we go over here to No Mercy.
It's still running on Windows XP. It hasn't updated a bit.
More like Windows ME, because XP is actually good. But Looks like they're going trying to go for a bit of a bunker composition here with the Orisa and the Bastion behind the shield of the Orisa. Obviously, shield not as powerful of the Orisa compared to the Reinhardt, but you do have more projectile-based firing. So we'll see how this goes. They bunker up on the top here with the Baptiste and the Mercy as supports, as Meta Esketi slowly charge their way up and look like they have gone away from these dummy picks, and they're settling into a more typical, looks like 5 composition with the 2-2-2. Trying to go around the side here. Bastion is doing a good job of just being able to get everyone away, because it's quite a wide area of attack there. You can just fire straight through there, so you have to really sneak over the other side. Otherwise, the Bastion, in the form of Rennie, will just be able to mow down everyone else. So, not really much action, but here comes the first eye from Arnai. Arnai is trying to succeed, but unfortunately, Flibby takes down Mikazuki in the meantime. In the meantime, though, they are still getting their first point. They're just kind of passing them from the bottom, and they get the first tick. So they're just so determined to stay on that top part that they give away 1 tick. That might be their intention, though, because they still have a lot of aerial dominance. And as I say that, Rennie takes down 2, both the Winston and the Ana. So it looks like this, as well as Meta Esketi did to try and attack the point. It's just too good for Rennie. Rennie's got too much dominance over the high ground, and they have to go back and reset.
The main thing coming out of that fight was the fact that Mikazuki actually dashed in first, as opposed to the King Penguin or Arnie, and he actually got hit by the Junkrat trap, which is why he was just standing still throughout the entire fight. And it's practically quite easy to get killed. Here comes a Riptire right now.
Here comes a Riptire from time of No Mercy, just slowly trying to fly over the back. Looks like going on the back. Oh, it takes down 2. Got the Diva just as she popped out of the mix. So takes down 2. Here comes the Ant Matrix as well to get a bit more healing and a little bit more damage boosted over that balcony. And again, even though Arnai gets the kill on the Pigeon, he'll be quickly rezzed up. Another reset for Esketi.
Yeah, it's coming in once again. Though they won that fight, you can see that a lot of ultimates had to be used right there. The only 2 ultimates coming in right now are the tank ultimates, with Boone having the Bongos and Mareparch going with the Demon Bomb. Moraman does have the Nano Boost, and Mikazuki is up to 90% on that Nano Blade, so we're most likely going to see if he can perform a Haxal in this upcoming one. But on the dive of Meta Esketi, they're gonna have to focus on that immortality field if they want any chance of actually killing anything in this upcoming fight.
And especially that position up there, it's very hard to take down the immortality field. But every time they realize they're getting it, they could just be mowed down by the Bastion. So it would require a lot of strategy here. I think that the only real chance I have right now is Rio is coming through with invisibility, trying to get that hack, sneaking around there pretty well. They're down to his other side. Here comes a Nano Blade. Sorry, yes, Nano Blade, definitely from the side of Meta Esketi. Takes down a few, but the bomb from Mayor Parched? Is that how you say it? Yes, Mayor Parched does get 2. So they're getting a bit more percentage, but the bomb looks like just throwing a spanner in the works in the favor of Meta Esketi. Moira Man will try and throw a nade rather, to keep himself alive, which he will do. And valiant effort, but will be another hold here for No Mercy.
It was a very crucial kill. Flibby actually got the kill onto Rio before he got into a position to actually use that EMP, which is probably what stumped the entire fight after that. So very good play coming out of Flibby on that Junkrat right now. Most people think Junkrat doesn't really take much skill, but it seems that in this sort of situation, he's actually really, really good. Arnie actually taking a lot of damage. They're gonna have to bet on Rio this time to use.
And here comes a bomb, throws out. Oh, takes down the Tornado Field, and Boone, who is now the. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna be confused there, but looks like the last engagement here will be crucial. And unfortunately, oh no, Button was spooked away, could not get the resurrection. So looks like using the self-destruct in the form of King Penguin. Was able to throw a huge, what the hell is going on, in the form of No Mercy. And what I'm trying to say is the bomb went in. No Mercy's like, what the hell is going on? All got confused and split up, tried to run away from the bomb. And in that time, Mikazuki was able to pounce and take down everyone else. And in the dying seconds, they'll get an extra 2.5 minutes and take the first point on Hollywood.
And now Rio switches off that. Rio does switch off the Somber right now, going on to the Baptiste themselves for the attack portion. With the side of No Mercy also switching off from the bunker com. Here comes an early Riptire, but here comes a counter. Oh, that was... You hate to see that.
2 ultimates wasted because of fantastic Riptire that was pulled out just before the Nano Blade was used. So they was able to give enough time to know, alright, just use a tire. Oh, I hear a Nano Blade. Where is he? Boom! And even the damage resistance from the Nano Boost could not save the Riptire. It's quite powerful. So they must be kicking themselves over that Meta Esketi, so they'll have to probably reset until he comes back. And to say that,
But
Rini
just got double kill.
takes down 2 on the high ground here. You leave a Widow uncontested at the top here, you really need to find a hero to try and dive him ASAP. Wow, what fantastic showing the defense from No Mercy.
Yeah, No Mercy showing much better signs of life, as I said before. Aside from their GOAT's composition play, when it comes to the Winston dive or anything with the Widowmaker or DPS, they seem to be a bit ahead, but I wouldn't say a large portion, but just good enough they are able to stall and take fights. But coming into the next one, Arnie going in very deep actually in that dive. And King Penguin just get demeched.
Oh, that David B Diva was flown way up into the air. So demeched is King Penguin's been demeched, and here comes the self-destruct in the form of Mayor Park. Takes down the Zarya. So really not having much success here. They got the first point, but it seems to be a bit of a snowball that suddenly hits a brick wall. And that's a bit of a reactionary sound barrier there from Max BP. Try to get a bit more sustained to keep pushing a little bit more, and it is working. But Rini, wow, is just having absolute dominance on the high ground here. Takes down Moira Man 83. Flibby puts out the Riptire, and they're still pushing the payload ever so slowly, but it's a very scrappy fight at this point.
Yeah, very, very true. Even the fact that No Mercy has been winning most of these fights has actually made a significant distance from the actual checkpoint over there to just in front of the bar. It seems that Rini is actually just a popping shot, not even getting the full charge, just trying to get the kill on the King Penguin in that baby diva form. And without your diva, the Winston is going to have some trouble with trying to stay alive when he comes in and dive right now. He's trying to get on the dive. He's never going to touch the target.
He's so low, but the immortality field is there keeping him alive. Eventually shake him up. Here comes the amplification matrix. Bit of aerial, field advantage over the payload. But even in there, not saying that, Button's got to get away, and Button just flies away just in time with the Valkyrie. So unfortunately, not taken down by the self-destruct. Even gets a res as well. Even naded. 1 bit of HP left. King Penguin does a fantastic job to run over there and take down Button. Here comes another self-destruct on the payload just to get the icing on the cake. DMX King Penguin, he'll be left on his own, and that'll be as far as they'll take it. A very scrappy fight, and even with all the players they're losing, they pushed it quite far considering the aggression from Meta Esketi. So, No Mercy will be pushing it to 1.77.38 meters. Wait, no, is it? No, sorry, not No Mercy, Meta Esketi rather.
77.42 meters.
Yes.
Yeah, well, coming in just understanding that full fight, Flippy was basically uncontested most of the time. Being a junker, you are able to just throw your bomb and then detonate, so you can push not only your enemy away, but yourself away. So he was in a large amount of those fights just being in a position that he could just spam down bombs without being contested, and he got a number of Riptires, and that translated to a lot of kills essentially, which is why No Mercy was able to be as dominant as they were, just because Junkrat does throw a large amount of damage through very small choke points. But enough about that. Let's move on to No Mercy's attack right now. Let's see what they have.
Just wanted to quickly also add, I think that No Mercy's real bunkering on these rooftops, so on the first point and on the second point near the general store, that really gave him a lot of great position, a lot of free range, especially in terms of the Junkrat and the Widowmaker. So I really think that helped their defenses. But in terms of attack and defense, so on No Mercy side, we are seeing something a bit different. So we do have the Symmetra and the Baptiste and the Moira, and it looks like they are switching to Bastion now. So Bastion on attack is quite of an interesting pick. It's very hit and miss. You really need to be able to get yourself in a good position, but they're probably going to be using the Symmetra teleporter to try and get him somewhere where they're not going to expect. I've had that play happen to me before, and if you're not expecting it, it can absolutely wipe the team. So we'll see what they can do with it.
Meta Esketi basically copying the composition of No Mercy ran in the first 5. I'm pretty sure both teams have my screaming Kelly. Here comes the but unfortunately Moon actually fell down.
Oh, this is just to see who can shake.
This fight should be done actually. Yeah, now Meta Esketi's not gonna get tricked this time around.
Okay, this is just a battle of who can really fire.
But Rini actually gets a kill
throws
first.
a turret out there. It's a better. They're just firing at each other to see who collapses first, and Rini comes out victorious. It's kind of like a laser battle. Whose laser will give in first? So it looks like Flibby has actually done a good job with the teleporter. They weren't expecting it, and their brute force and persistence will let them get this first point pretty easily.
How did that happen? Boone start of the fight, Flippy did go on teleport, but Boone actually fell off the side there. Meta Esketi should have instantly know what was going to happen, and they should have actually pushed. Unfortunately, they actually gave Boone the necessary amount of time to actually get back on the cart, and now this very nice limousine has been turned into a pirate ship. And is gaining across. Arnie now switches off onto the dive, onto the Winston, and King Penguin back onto the dive. So they are trying to dive it, but Moraman is opting to stay onto the Bastion just because he is tank. Here comes the tank ultimate right now. It has to be making.
Yep, configuration taking me up from Moirman, but even Rudy without ultimate form takes down Moirman. Rudy is just having free reign. This is my territory. Come near me, you'll get shredded to 1,000 tiny little pieces. Call me heavy weapons guy from TF2 because I am Bastion and this is my weapon. Out throws the Symmetra ultimate for good measure, and they only have 4.5 minutes to get it just a little bit further. 2 meters, 1 meter, 0 meters, one little contest. Real switch to the Tracer for the last bits of contest. Here comes the Wrecking Ball as you see in these last contest moments. The Mortality Field's also out. Here comes the self-destruct. We'll get a few. 0.62. Bastion is going to try and take down Moirman. Does a good job. And that was just all class and no respect from No Mercy right there. I had to add, look at that first strategy there. When Boone was stranded, they kind of hid in that little corridor. I thought that would have been enough time for Meta Esketi to jump over and, you know, get them all down. But they were able to just kind of stay there, assert their dominance, and, oh, that was very entertaining.
Yeah, very, very true. Oh, here comes the Baptiste ultimate. Unfortunately, he didn't mow down as many people as they would like, but essentially, yeah, very one-sided fight coming out. No Mercy punching back after a very slow start against the GOATS composition of Meta Esketi. It seems that, yeah, both teams are generally quite even now, 1-1. Now let's see what moves on. Let's see what happens in the next upcoming map.
Yes, that was incredibly entertaining, and this is what can be really fun about Overwatch, seeing some of these like compositions being used in weird and wonderful ways. I mean, I know that the Symmetra and Bastion comp has been well, not really comp as strategy per se, has been a thing for a while, but it takes a lot of coordination to pull it off, and that's exactly what they did. Now, if we're having a look here, it looks like the map has been changed to Horizon Lunar Colony, so 2CP. We definitely see a lot of different strategies here, especially in terms of defense. You can see very aggressive attack and very solid defense on either side of these. What are you thinking coming up to this map with it being tied at 1-1 Blackburn?
Right now you can see that with regards to just Horizon Lunar Colony within the whole spectrum of the meta, you have your, I would say that No Mercy is favored to actually run the Bastion composition once again, just because if they are defending first, they have that large amount of high ground that it can lay down damage, as well as similar to Hollywood, they are able to just be on the high ground while still being able to contest the point. So I think we are most likely going to see that. But that being said, there's a lot more space in Horizon Lunar Colony compared to the Numbani Cafe, where you generally set up. So on the side of Meta Esketi, they might be able to try and abuse that fact and probably run a Pharah, Widowmaker. Sombra is probably going to have an easier time trying to get around to places so that she's able to dive with the team when they go in. So we'll see how well the coordination is with regards to the dives on either side of the teams if the other team is running a bunker-based comp.
Yes, I'm not really too sure what to add to that. I think Blackburn pretty much nailed it in terms of what we're going to see in terms of Horizon Lunar Colony. For me, though, it's very refreshing that I'll be able to cast a game where the score isn't a pure 3-0. So usually my commentary has been a little bit biased in terms of one team that's kind of just showing dominance over the whole series, but we're seeing pretty even strats here, and it looks like it comes down to both the teams being very even or they're favoring in practice of certain maps. But this being 2CP, we do see a lot of different strategies used here, most common being either really solid defense or incredibly aggressive and very quick attack, as we usually see in the Overwatch League. But we have 10 seconds to the heroes are assembled, and we shall see what both No Mercy and Meta Esketi are using. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and here we go. What are they going? Okay, so looks like No Mercy are using the Baptiste again, and Rooney is going to the Bastion again, so this could be a dummy pick again. But actually, no, I'm got mixed around. They're on defense. So Bastion's a pretty valuable pick, especially if they still have the Orisa shield. Going a bit more divey here in terms of Meta Esketi with the Genji and the Tracer. We have to be very accurate to be able to take down some of these 4 tanky heroes. What do you think of this setup, Blackburn?
I think this is playing into what No Mercy did onto Hollywood, and they're just trying to just play what they have been practicing, but at the same time, what's not broken, don't really fix it. So yeah, they're just gonna keep running this composition until Meta Esketi has an answer to it. Mikazuki actually not playing. Mikazuki actually playing they're actually going for a more traditional dive composition. So it will be interesting to see how well it does, due to the fact that Genji generally hasn't been meta for a very long time.
And I think they're hiding now in this corner here as they realize, oh crap, there's the whole bunker composition set up right there. Set up on that little platform on the corner over there. Junkrat's got the trap there, spamming his grenades as he usually does. And here comes the first dive. Well, they're just going straight diving him. Mikazuki gets out the reflect, takes down Rini, which is a huge pick. Is he going to get the res? No way. They got the res.
Actually get the res on the Rini. As you can saw, Mikazuki actually got hit by the Junkrat trap once again. He was the first to go in. That's highly that's pretty weird, considering the fact that King Penguin should be the first one diving in. D.Va has the defense matrix and a much higher health pool, so she is able to really has the highest percentile chance of actually surviving if getting caught in that Junkrat trap.
I don't know what this Tracer is doing. I think she's just slowly suffocating herself out in space until the other team comes up to surprise everyone else from the back line. Interesting strategy. I'm not too sure if it'll work too well. I must say that was a very disappointing follow-up to the engagement. Fantastic first pick onto Rini, and they're doing it again, but Fumi.
And you can see Mikazuki just dives in by himself as being the head of the team rather than the Winston, and instantly gets destroyed. He has to understand that he does have 200 HP compared to everyone else having a large, basically twice the amount, and actually having armor.
Oh, I see. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I actually see what he's doing here now with the steel trap here. It's an anti-dive measure. So they dive straight in the front. It's hard to see from the angle. As soon as you jump on it, especially if you're already mowed down from the Bastion, they can just finish him off. So it's a very smart move there. Here comes the Ant Matrix as well. Oh, look at that. Bastion just firing straight through. Get out of my way here. I'm dealing double damage as a Bastion. Probably the scariest thing you'll be seeing in Overwatch. They're trying to go through an engagement here on the side because No Mercy have switched over just in front of the first point on the platform up the top. So they're slowly edging their way up top. Libby is now running away because they're coming in droves as a big squad. Shield is up. They're all running. Here comes a nano boosted Reinhardt in the form of Arnai. Takes down Pigeon. Rini is still not really given much favor. The Riptide does blow up, but he's protected so much by a nano boost that he lives. But the follow-up still isn't there. No Mercy are just right on the back of it. Okay, they're doing this, we do this. And Rini is not being contested at all as this Bastion. And as they're engaging in the back of point one, Rini has set up and surprised them all. They're not focusing on Rini, they're focusing on the people fighting on the point. So, very sneaky Bastion tactic there, and they don't seem to have any answers for it.
Rini is there playing a very good form of Bastion, just being able to reset continuously as the Ghost composition pushes in, but at the same time, Meta Esketi had a really good chance of pushing right there. They basically split up the entire composition of No Mercy, with Moon and Rini only being on the top left side, and the rest of the team actually being on the right side there. So they could have potentially just, with a 6 comp smashes.
Here he goes again. Rini is just being left so uncontested here. And you know what would really work here? I mean, they switched from Genji. And Genji, if the reflect is used right, that can absolutely shred Rini to pieces. But now they've tried to go Symmetra to try and teleport underneath the line of sight from the Bastion. But nothing they seem to be doing is working at the moment. They have one last push. They're going to have a self-destruct and a shatter probably for this fight. Nowhere near any other ultimate. So they do also have a sound barrier. So we'll have to see what happens here.
They also chose to switch Rio off the Brigade to the Symmetra, so that might be a problem in terms of the healing. Here everyone's gonna teleport onto the point, but no, it seems that Moorman is the only one.
This is a fantastic... I'm sorry, I don't really know when to interrupt.
Yeah, fantastic call coming out of the side of No Mercy. This Bastion composition has completely stumped Meta Esketi, and they do manage to accrue at least one tick onto the point, but that's probably it. That's probably it.
Yeah, there was an emergency nano boost put onto the D.Va just for the extra damage resistance, but that'll basically be it. They did seem to get to the point using the... I don't know if they used a teleporter or not. Please correct me if they did. But they tried to sneak underneath, but again, the follow-up was just too good. And he is doing a fantastic job using as a Bastion... Sorry. as a Bastion. So, but they did end up. Sorry, I'm just collecting my thoughts. They did end up taking just over 33%, so they got over the first tick at 42.1, but that is incredibly hard to defend. You have very little margin for error there. If you lose one fight, it's basically over unless you have a fantastic contest going. Yeah, fantastic showing from No Mercy.
Yeah, very, very good play, very good understanding of the Bastion-based composition, being able to reset as much as possible on any of the parts of the high ground that contains first point, and they basically use it to essentially full hold the entire team on Meta Esketi. Meta Esketi's in a goats v goats situation, they are the better team against No Mercy, but as you saw through that entire fight, their target calling, their positioning is less to be desired against a Bastion-based composition, so that's probably why they lost that fight. But let's see how well they do in the upcoming defense right now.
We'll have to have a look here because it's still anyone game at this point. And in terms of composition, they are trying to go. They're not going to Bastion. Looks like they're not really confident with their Bastion plays. They're going the Junkrat and the supports being Moira and Baptiste. So we don't have any direct healing in terms of Mercy or anything. So could be a problem. But we'll see if they can bunker themselves up. But Mikazuki seems to be kind of just on his own, looking to try and get some picks on the other side of the field. Yeah, we'll just have to see first engagement. In the meantime, No Mercy are going. They're both Queen Sombras. No Mercy have completely different supports. Could work or could fail depending on the situation, so we'll have to find out and see what happens. And Mikazuki camped out in his little flank area, seems to just get the first pick on the pigeon, so it's a great delay there.
Yeah, it's gonna take that's gonna take 6 seconds off the clock right now, but they didn't. But on the side of Meta Esketi, they're not really getting that much poke. They're just probably just biding time to get their ultimates up. Rio right now on 13%. Mikazuki probably the only one ahead at 24. Let's see if he can get that Reptile as fast as his counterpart did in the last match. Here comes a dive out of No Mercy. Unfortunately, Boone actually jumped onto the point and left Bear Pouch all alone up there. He is gonna most likely get taken out of the Pokemon.
Oh, Flibby gets a pick. It looks pretty side one side at this point, taking on the Immortality Field, and D-Mech King Penguin gets just under the first tick, but I think there's not really enough damage there because Arnai is just shielding everyone, shielding all the squishies. I'm doing a good job of doing all that, so I'll have to probably go back and reset. But oh, wow.
Really on that Sombra, I actually managed to get up to the high ground and just started just shooting down. Actually, he gets a kill onto the board right now, and with the fast and Boone and everyone else.
Oh, that's a big nade. That is a big nade. Takes down both tanks. Here comes the emergency hack here just to clear everyone else out. Boone is doing a good job taking everyone else out. Another hack there. And there's still someone on the point. It is a Zenyatta. Bit more, and there we go. Fantastic work there from No Mercy. We saw a great engagement there. That biotic nade from Button was fantastic. Took down, it purpled both the Reinhardt and the D.Va, and since they weren't able to get healed, it really helped take them down, and that was a meat of the defense of the point. So fantastic work there.
Yeah, very, very true. Now you can see why Reinhardt generally isn't played on first point horizon. Aside from just being, if he's not on the high ground protecting a DPS or a support, or just preventing the team from getting up to that point, he's essentially not gonna do much onto the point. He can't really swing his hammer at a range that it's most likely gonna get as much value. He's probably gonna hit 1 or even 0 people, and his 2000 HP barrier can be burned down by, as you saw, Rini on the high ground. Reinhardt can't really do much in that sense, so a bit of a mispick in terms of the hero composition there. But now No Mercy is up 2-1 into the series. They are going to try and close it out in Watchpoint Gibraltar. Have you seen that much pirate ship on Watchpoint? I've seen it a bit, but that's probably like 5-6 seasons ago.
I only really see pirate ship when it comes to overtime. So if it's 3-3, they try and do that. But again, Watchpoint Gibraltar, completely different maps. There's no real holding capture points. You're just pushing a payload, and sorry, I do apologize. I'm trying to watch an NRL game at the same time, and it looks like my team just had a try scored against them, which is a shame. Sorry, getting distracted here, but I'm going a bit off track here. My bad. Going back to Overwatch instead of NRL, yeah, very interesting to see. It's very hard to predict what can happen here. we have No Mercy up 2-1. So this is match point. If they win this, they win the series. But if they lose this or go to map 5 with control, and that would be very exciting. I wouldn't write off Meta Esketi just yet because they've had strong showings. It just looks like the past two maps haven't really been their thing. And as we look here, again on defense, they're relying on good old Bastion. And Meta Esketi are still trying to figure out what exactly composition they want to go. Yeah, they have Moiraman hasn't really picked anything just yet. Mikazuki's going as the Genji, so it could be anything at this point. Yeah, what do you see of this, Blackburn? I mean, you being a master player, me being gold, platinum, you probably have a better perspective on this than I do.
As far as I see it right now, the team of Meta Esketi is trying and counter this Bastion composition, but they had 2 matches to try and do it, and so far nothing's really come up. Hopefully they do get it together in this upcoming one. But this map, in terms of attack, has always generally been Dive favorite, so they should have a pretty good chance if they try and work together with Mikazuki. And hopefully Mikazuki this time around doesn't actually get completely destroyed as he dives in first, which is probably good because Flibby's not playing the Junkrat right now.
And they throw out the the Immortality field just to counter that Genji being up there. Nope, you want to kill us? You're gonna have to try a little harder than that, buddy. On the side of Meta Esketi, they both take down the field and D-Mex to D.Va. Doesn't really seem to matter too much though, as Rini again is shredding as the Bastion. Looks like the Widowmaker is trying to do a Rio, I think it is. Yes, Rio has a little trying to peek up here actually. Oh, very, very clever. As they are defending, they're trying. Sorry, while they're attacking, they're trying to get a few picks from the back and side, and they do a good job there. Rio takes down Slibby. They've only been able to push it under the bridge. They're just trying to wait to regroup. And as I say that, No Mercy are hiding in this little left area here, so I think they're trying to get them when they realize before they realize it's too late.
This is a very good chance for Meta Esketi to actually push in. It's a 5v6 right now, and Flippy is still trying to get back. He's probably going to get back through the fight starts, but if they are able to engage right now, if Arnie dives in with King Pregnant, no, Flippy gets back in time and gets the kill onto Rio. They took
barely see Rio as well, so that was a fantastic pick from Flippy. I have to also admit that trying to get off picks like that with the scope is much harder as Ashe than it is for Widowmaker, so very valiant effort there. As they've now 5v6, I think it'll also be another regroup here. It seemed to kind of be a bit of a Mexican standoff, you know. One's firing from the top, one's firing from the bottom, both in direct line of sight, but neither wants to peek out further. They don't really want to see them protrude out from the Rune's barrier, so very tough to see what way this fight will go.
In terms of this pick game right now, it's very much in favor of No Mercy. They're the ones that have to just stay and prevent the card from getting
here comes an Nanoblade, here comes Ant Matrix, here comes a lot of ultimates, support ultimates up there.
Mikazuki pops off. That's what you want to see with a Genji Blade right there. With the Transcendence, they are able to basically stop any... They're gonna get healed fast enough compared to the damage, even with the nano boosted square that would stop the damage. And he just waited for the Immortality field to come down, and they should be able to start pushing it right now. No Mercy is still trying to play on this composition. Let's see if it comes up. Arnie actually gets a kill onto Mare Punch just before the remake right now, and they are trying to stop Meta Esketi.
Mech kill.
Yeah, Meta Esketi's going to cap first point now.
And the fortunate part about that is Mayor Parch, that was a very unfortunate use of the D.Va Bomb. Just trying to throw it out there, but it was so far from the other supports just pushing the payload that they had enough time to hide behind it. So fortunately, they need a little bit before they were able to get their mech back, and they will just be... Meta Esketi will be... Oh, what a stagger on the Mayor Parch as well. So that's what I mean about using the mech. Bitty D-Mech, especially when you're on your own, can be a huge spanner in the works for the defending team. So there looks like they're just slowly pushing the payload on Gibraltar up to relatively uncontested, halfway now up to the second point.
Yeah, because on side of No Mercy, they probably should have regrouped a lot faster, but unfortunately, the Mare Parch actually got stalled out, so this is probably their best fight right now. But Rio has a long sideline, and it's basically going to be uncontested throughout this entire fight unless they actually get picked onto him. So it's on to Rini right now to try and set the tempo on the pace. Here comes a nano boost on to Arnie rather than Mikazuki actually. And it seems like he does get the kill on the Rini. So without the Widow right now, Rio has basically free reign to do whatever he wants and hopefully gets a secondary pick. Mare Parch gets it a bit too deep and he's gonna get killed. Here comes a Dragon Blade out.
Dragon Blade comes out, takes down one, Button takes down another, Flibby takes down two. That was a scrappy fight. and I didn't expect it to actually go the way of No Mercy. They're still pushing the payload. Rito's trying to hide behind the payload and push it as far as possible, and slings himself back up, taken out near the end. That was interesting because they took down the Widow on the side of Meta Esketi. Sorry, I just kind of lost track of that fight. There was a lot going on there.
No Mercy was No Mercy's Widow, which just flippy got taken out in that fight, but it seems that the Dragon Blade actually saved them there. Now on the side of Meta Esketi, it seems that No Mercy actually tried to go in for a much more aggressive fight right there, but does get punished. Mare Parch actually gets a kill, but here comes a Dragon Blade on Mikazuki. He's gonna most likely get a 2-piece. Yep, he's gonna try to go for a third one. Does get 3, and the over-aggression coming out of No Mercy right there, it's gonna bite them in the butt. And we'll see whether or not Boone actually decides to try, and yep, they are gonna actually try and contest this. Mare Parch
is trying to stagger, but is naded and probably very long. Wants staggers just so they can get the capture. Here comes a Primal Rage. They're investing a lot of ultimates just to try and grab the Slice Sting, and here comes a bomb and takes down the fleeing Boone. Wow, they're investing way too many ultimates in my opinion for this last point contest. They're 0.22 and they can really use these ones better if they save them for the third point, and they get it anyway. So they've used a bunch of ultimates. They've had nothing in return for it. They stagger at 20 seconds, but wouldn't you much rather want to hold it at the very end instead of holding it near the point there?
Yeah, exactly. Boone using the Primal Rage there is not very. It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. As a Winston, as a main tank player, if you're gonna use your Winston ultimate to just stall the point, it's probably decent enough just because you get it back fast. But if you're a Lucio player and you're gonna invest the Sound Barrier after your 2 or 3 man down, that's pretty much a waste right there.
Anyway, we have 2 minutes.
Nice. Gets a kill on the next VP, so they are going to probably win this fight unless Flimmy turns it around with his Dragon Blade.
Nope, the Boostio! Lucio Pigeon was in the way, and will trying to take advantage of that, try and get a few picks. Nano Blade, unfortunately, wasn't meant to be. They still seem to win this fight, though.
Kingprank is just going to get stalled out. Oh, he actually gets slapped. Oh, I don't know why Rini actually got the kill onto him. He could have probably just staggered that. So that's going to take a 6-second.
Yeah, this is what we want to see from the side of No Mercy. So it was a good defensive set, even with the unfortunate Boostio. The the Dragon Blade still seems to push a lot of people already. Gets a pick as well, so it'll be another reset and push for Meta Esketi. And here comes a Nano Blade from the side of Meta Esketi. Takes down 1 support, takes down 2 supports, and this is exactly what Mikazuki is really good at. He's good at honing on the supports on their own. They don't have any way to stun him, so they don't have McCree, they don't have a Brigitte, they don't have any way to really contest Mikazuki with the Dragon Blade.
Looks like on the Doofus right now. He's trying to stall as much as he can, but does get taken out by Mikazuki. I think gets a kill on the Pigeon. Now the question on the board right now is No Mercy gonna be able to try and push this into overtime, or Meta Esketi gonna be able to cap it mid-time? They are most likely gonna cap it, with 48 seconds left on the clock.
They were so close to going overtime there with Rennie as the wrecking ball, but he was naded, he was low, he wasn't gonna last very long. They're not doing enough about Mikazuki. Mikazuki is a very scary Genji. You know what I say about scary Genjis. If you have a good Genji on your team, you have no way to counter it. It is an absolute pain in the ass for the team that has to deal with it. So Meta Esketi have pushed with 48 seconds remaining in the time bank. Again, still could go either way. Still a lot of talent on the side of No Mercy. Still a lot of things they could pull out of their sleeves. They could go Bastion and bunker up the payload, which is what they've been doing the past couple maps. So that could go well for them. We'll see. We'll find out as we wait for the last few seconds to tick down to find out what the compositions will be.
Yeah, very, very true. Let's see what happens right now in this upcoming fight. Meta Esketi's defense is going to be a EMP Sombra with a Dragon Blade, but this time there is not going to be a nano boost to actually get the most maximum value. Moira Man is going to play Moira, so that's sorry, it's actually called Moira Man.
Yeah, Moira. I keep thinking Moira Man, but I'm thinking Moira Man would probably be a bit more suitable. Rio is just camping out at the entrance, like, hey guys, how you all going? Good to see you. Hope you're all having a good day.
So essentially, Esketi is trying to play into the high ground, so Marman is going to be able to actually get a very good nade onto the bunker composition, and Mikazuki is just going to try and dash in to get as much damage. So they are specking into the actual bunker, actual pirate ship comp that they have right now, so which is a very good pick right here. Now let's see if Morma is going to be able to actually get a
They're hiding above.
Grenade.
Oh, that's a fantastic strategy. They do throw out the immortality field to contest that. Oh, it's keeping Rini alive, even though Rini's naded. Did you see that? They couldn't get down the
It was a very good engagement coming out of Esketi. It's just unfortunate that they need to focus down that immortality field if they want a chance to at least win the fight. It's okay for them to throw the actual nade in first while the immortality fields up, because they are still affected by it, but they need to focus it down once it comes down for this composition to work, or Rio gets a very big EMP.
Thing is, immortality field is very low HP, so it only takes a few seconds of focus in order to take it down. Looks like they were unsuccessful in doing that, but as I say that, they get down near the first point. Here comes another engagement, and big nade, but immortality field still being taken down.
That's getting taken down right now. This is probably their best chance if they want to go in. Arnie trying to be aggressive right now, pushing in here, but here comes the Bastion ultimate.
Kept alive with a clutch armor pack from the Brigida, but I think Arnai has too much HP for Rini to take him down. Implication Matrix coming through, but
here comes a scrappy fight right now, but Max BP does invest the Transcendence right now and actually gets the Immortality Field. This is probably a very good chance for them to really just hammer down this push right now if they try to go in. Mare Parch actually gets D-Mech right now. Is Arnie gonna get hit? Does get hit, but not kill. Flippy gets a counter kill onto Rio. Arnie gets a kill onto Pigeon. Really, here comes a Dragon Blade right now.
The stun!
And gets a kill onto Ridley. That's the crucial pick right there. And they are going to actually hold up in this fight. Unfortunately, and throughout the entire fight, they only used, I think, about 3 ultimates. And on the side of No Mercy, they actually invested probably more than that. And not only that, they actually have to switch off the Bastion composition, just because Bastion compositions can't really retake a point. So that's a very good win. That's going to take a lot of time off the clock, and most likely they're going to, on the side of No Mercy, they're going to have to go for a couple of dry pushes just to build up their ult economy before they are able to have a decent fight.
Very, very true. Yeah, it looks like, it'll be goats. As people like to say, as Lemon Kiwi says, when in doubt, goats it out. Brute force, just trying to push payload forward.
EMP can stop this right now. Here comes a huge EMP with 5 players. Here comes a Diva Bomb. It's going to be big. That's a triple kill.
Too easy.
Easy setup, easy
textbook move right there. Takes down 5, and that results in the waste of Brigida's rally as well. So,
I think on the side of, I mean, if you're on the side of No Mercy, you're pretty happy with that general trade. You're building up your Dragon Blade. Mare Parch was not actually killed, so he had no choice but to jump off the map. Rio on the Sombra generally gets EMP quite fast just because no one on the Ghost comp is able to focus them down, and you fought that fight fast enough that no one on the side of No Mercy actually got a decent amount of ult percentage. Whereas Mikazuki and Moraman right now is close to that Dragon, to that Nano Blade once again. This is going to go into the last fight right now, and that Dragon Blade with that Nano Blade is going to be a very huge deciding factor in this upcoming fight.
Flippy gets an early pick onto Rio. Fantastic. Slut's being put on. Okay. It looks like RI has tried to focus both the supports, but they seem to be able to separate far enough, being able to be taken down. I'm just losing my mind right now. Lots going on at the moment.
It was an unfortunate pick right there. If Morman actually stayed up, even if they were down, even Rio was killed in that fight, they still had the Nano Blade to actually just go through. The side of No Mercy had no support ultimates to actually prevent that, but now you can see Button does have that Transcendence, so that's going to be a very crucial ultimate to just stop the Nano Blade coming in this next upcoming fight.
Yeah, they were able to isolate most of the supports in this corner just before the first point, so they were able to use the Winston today, jump in, just take them all down. Discord also certainly helps in that regard. So we'll see how they go into second point. They only go in with 2.5 minutes, so it'll be very, very clutch for them. Bit of fighting over on this roof over here. Brigida tries to bash off the Devo. This is unsuccessful. Meta Esketi are taking reins on the spaceship up top here, hopefully trying to
show just getting a lot of free push right now. Button is getting pressured right now, but charged out of it. He is now. Here comes the EMP. Does get the crucial hit. And
doesn't-
Button gets killed.
But
Really
does not get the does not get the Lucio. Pigeon's able to use the sound barrier to try and protect everyone. The sound barrier is thrown in. Oh, here comes a grab. Here comes the Nano Blade. Oh, there's so much going on here right now. Everything's the shield from Rini protecting him from the Nano Blade. Oh, Mikazuki, fantastic push there, fantastic counter there to the hack and to the Nano Blade. Ana's gonna try and go there for some free contest, but unfortunately,
they got a very crucial kill in that start of the fight by actually getting the kill onto Button. It's just unfortunate that they didn't just immediately throw in the Nano Blade right there. But enough about that. Let's move on to the next fight right now. Let's hope Arnie actually doesn't get picked off right here. If he does get picked off right here, or King Penguin gets D-Mech, that's going to be a very
who's
crucial
touching
pick.
the point? Oh, the support's coming back. They probably realized that. Boone is taken down, unfortunately. And
Mizuki switches off to the Pharah, and they're running more man onto the Mercy. So they're running the supposed counter to the Goat's composition. Let's hope he actually gets as much value as he needs to try and stall this out, considering the fact that no, that's just a
no one's pushing the point. There's still free reign to push the point. I don't know what they're doing.
They're just trying to go for a reset. Yeah, they're now the ones pushing, but now okay. Now Button's basically onto the point right now, so they try to push up with a 5 right now. But with the rocket and the damage boost right now, Boone's not gonna be able. Boone's shield is gonna get immediately destroyed. They shouldn't be poking, and that's why you can't really poke against the double DPS composition that takes both the high grounds. Here comes a Diva Bomb right now. Does get another King Penguin showing his best poker impression throughout that entire fight right there. This is probably gonna be a very hard push for No Mercy to try and break through. You can see that Ryo is gonna have that on the side of Meta Esketi. They basically have 5 ultimates. Ryo is gonna have that EMP. They can EMP Shadow, or they can even just Diva Defense Matrix, and Mikazuki goes in for the barrage. That's gonna be a very crucial play. But Flippy now switches off to the Creed. Let's see how it goes. Here comes the EMP. It gets all 6 people there. Shatter, an easy combination that basically takes another couple seconds off to the clock right there.
Clean as you like. That was a fantastic shatter. Even when they were EMP'd, it couldn't do anything. Arnai just throws out the shatter. Boom. See you later, guys. See you later. They're not getting up tonight. You have a computer virus and you have a mild concussion. Try and get over that. So, only 46 seconds left for No Mercy to push. And they don't really have much to push left, but now they have less time to bank than...
They do have a large bank of ultimates with the exception of Libby, which is 24%. They basically have almost every other 5 ultimate, but it's whether or not Boone's shield is actually going to stay alive long enough for him to get back. And Boone actually gets a crucial kill onto Rangi. Here comes a pause. We did not see a pause called right there, so perhaps a bit of a miscommunication or something happened. But essentially, with Arnie being killed right there, Boone has currently has free reign to go for a shatter. If Moraman tries to go for a res on anyone, Boone would probably just go for a shatter. Flibby actually gets the Flibby actually left the game. I think he actually DC'd, but now he's back, so he's gonna have. So they're basically down 2 men right now.
No
ultimate. Flibby left the game again.
Oh no!
They're down the man. They're down the man right now, and this is so unfortunate. Just because Flibby on that McCree was basically zoning out Mikazuki actually. So even if he comes back, they're basically down 2 men compared to 1 man on the side of Meta Esketi, and Arnie is just about to get just about to respawn, and it's gonna come out and gonna be able to contest Boone. Boone's best bet right here is probably just to go for a big shatter or really hits a decent graviton that hits multiple people. So it just cushions the fact that Flibby might just be a bit late coming back into the fight. K-Rocket is going to join and most likely going to fill the side of No Mercy, but I'm actually quite sure he's on the side of Meta Sketty rather.
It's unfortunate that that's happened because he lost all his ult charge as well. And
yeah, Baden had no choice but to use the Transcendence just to stay alive compared to Mikazuki's rockets right there, and it seems that there's a bit of a contention right now whether or not the K-Rocket's going to be on the side of No Mercy in this last fight. Hopefully someone's going to be able to come in, but most likely not. In terms of just the ultimate plays that they are able to make right now, Max BP does have that Transcendence, so if the Transcendence does get used, he is going to be able to counter the Shadow or the Graviton, either one, if the side of No Mercy actually uses both at the same time and it doesn't get the kill or stop the Transcendence, this game is probably going to go in favor of Meta Esketi. Moorman also does have the Valkyrie to just keep everyone else up alive, and Button is the only one that's going to be able to actually successfully try and deal with it. So whether or not he's going to be able to hit shots. King Penguin is coming up to 74% on that ultimate, so in the upcoming fight, if they focus Boone's shield down and try and bait both the bubbles coming out from Rini, that's probably going to be just game as well. So right now, No Mercy is in a very bad position to try and finish the point. Even if they actually win this fight, they're most likely going to actually cap it in overtime.
Well, it's probably going to be a finish here. I only have 23 seconds remaining, and they still have the Transcendence and both support ults up for Meta Esketi. We have 23 seconds left. Anything can happen, but that barrage, I can't move the camera around while the game is paused, so I can't really see where that's heading off. It looks like Mikazuki is discorded, so it could be taken down relatively easily, but barely halfway through that barrage. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. I think K Rocket will be subbing in for.
No, as of right now, the team of No Mercy is still waiting on Flibby to reset his Wi-Fi. I'm pretty sure the McDonald's Wi-Fi he connected to just ran out of oil, so he has to try to convince them to just throw more oil into the fryer right now. But yeah, we're just essentially waiting for him to come back in. As of right now, I'm not sure what the rules say about this sort of thing. I haven't actually casted or read the AOL rules add to the recent season 6. So as of right now, I'm pretty sure that Meta Sketty does have the right to just say continue the match, just because it's already been a significant amount of time.
I think getting to this point as well, getting so close, it definitely does result in a lot of frustration for both the teams, especially when it's this critical point in the fight. And No Mercy, they're using the Transcendence now, but they still have 4 ultimates, not including the and unfortunately they did lose one when the other person DC'd. Yeah, I think at this point we'll be going to a map 5, and the first one on Busan, was that a 2-0 or a 2-1?
It was a 2-1 in favor of Meta Sketty because both teams were running the GOATS composition. So Meta Sketty, in terms of the GOATS v GOATS, they're probably a bit favored in the match. But yeah, we'll highly dependent. I actually don't know what the other control point maps are. And it seems that none of us are up to the rules of whether or not Meta Esketi does have the right to actually call for the game to continue.
We'll have to just have to wait on that. But I guess in the meantime, how have you been, Blackburn? Your today been good? I hope your throat isn't too dry from commentating that first game all by yourself.
Well, currently we're in open division. My team was 10th place just before, but we played against Never Gonna Give You Up. We got destroyed 3-0, so unfortunately that's bad. The next game, tomorrow's game, is going to be a lot harder. We're actually playing the first seed of the open division team, which is, can't remember the name, but yeah, we're playing the first seed, which is like currently I think 7-0 right now, so it's going to be another hard fight.
Jesus Christ, some of these guys are absolutely insane. I keep forgetting like the raw skill and the grind behind some of these like really good Overwatch players. And most of them come from a background where they've played FPSs earlier in their life as well. So
today's open division game wasn't even that fair. They had Wuvo. They had Wuvo on their team.
Who's that?
Wuvo's like a contenders level player. There's a couple of open division teams, specifically I think between the the first 7 teams right there. They're all either GM teams or teams that have open division have former contenders players. Like Wuvo was a contenders player. He's top 500 since season 2. They also had another top 500 player on their team. So a lot of the teams from like 1 to 7 are basically the only real ones in contention to try and get that slot into trials.
Yeah, well, best of luck with that. I've unfortunately played as much recently. I have dropped down to a sub main support role because there's a few things going on. There's a few things going on for me currently live, but I've been enjoying being part of AOE. I've been enjoying getting back into the tippy. Phoebe Flippy has joined the game back. Okay, so this could be a resume. So as I say that, Flippy is coming back. Hasn't joined a team just yet, but
Okay, back to the match. So Phoebe does join back. He's gonna get pushed into the slot. He's gonna have to respawn. Most likely not gonna stick onto the McCree. Probably going to go something faster. Soldier, most likely. I'm guessing a soldier just to deal with the Pharah. Here comes it in 3, 2, 1. Fight will continue. Let's see if Boone able to actually get a shatter. No, he's actually discorded. And because he actually kills himself right there. That's actually a very weird play. Boone does get Arnie does get back, and here comes the Gravitas, here comes the Transcendence, like I said before, just to stop them. Here comes a charge onto Arnie. They have to kill Boone.
Shatter gets no one.
Shatter gets no one, and Arnie gets a counter charge onto Boone. This fight is probably done. Meta Esketi is gonna tie the series up 2-2. Here comes a Shadow right now. They're gonna have to kill Merpash before the bomb comes in. And yep, they do exactly that. Merpash not gonna be able to get the bomb to contest. This fight is done, and Meta Esketi will tie the series up 2-2.
Yeah, and guess what, man? We're going to a map 5, so all come down the next control map. Fantastic showing there, and fantastic attack and defense from Meta Esketi. Again, can't count out No Mercy, but it just seemed like their attacks are very coordinated from the side of Meta Esketi. I mean, looking at this Dragon Blade here, as soon as that Immortality field was down, he was able to just shred through everyone else, make some nice diced and sliced goats out of them. I love diced and sliced goat salad. Very tasty. But going from that point, we've seen a lot. We've seen the strengths and weaknesses of both sides. We've seen some fantastic play from both sides. But now it comes down to the final one. And we'll just wait until see what map they choose, but it is going to be a fun one.
Yes, now with everything back onto it, just before we continue. Okay, Rocket. Okay, so yeah, just having to make sure that K-Rocket, who is currently spectating, only spectates one team that he specifically wants to spectate, and so long as the other team is fine. So we are going to move on to Nepal. Nepal is going to be a very interesting point in terms of Shrine, which is the big pillar in the middle. That's very much a goat's favorite map, but we've also seen in the Overwatch League that there has been Hammond and Winston being played recently, so they might go for a quad DPS composition if any of them actually practice it. Onto Village. Meta Esketi is probably going to have a good time playing that Goats composition just because it is still very, very strong, unless No Mercy is going to be able to counter that with possibly a Pharah or a Mei play that they did before. But clearly on that Mei, we've seen not very successful as up to this point. So then if we go on to the last one, which is the one with the pit, I actually forget the name. Like in the middle. There's like a pit on the side there.
Sanctum,
this one, Sanctum. Yeah, exactly. This point that we're on right now, we have seen teams run a whole multitude of compositions, including snipers, Pharah Mercy, but the most recent one that's currently being used is Dive Goats, with basically the Winston just jumping on the right side or the left side outer part to just get that mega that is on the outer part of Sanctum. So it'll be interesting to see how well both teams generally run, or maybe a team might run the bunker composition. I'm not gonna put No Mercy out of running the Bastion bunker composition early in the start of this fight to just stay on the point.
Generally in Sanctum, you see more heroes that can do more environmental damage. So people like Junkrat, Lucio, who else? Brigitte, as well as Orisa. So it looks like we're seeing someone like that there. Oh, and Pharah. So we're seeing Pharah on one side and Orisa on both sides. And even the Ashe can do some environmental damage, because if you sneak out, you can get some really crucial picks if the other team isn't expecting it. Yeah, looks like Meta Esketi are going to Farm Mercy. Aerial dominance is very much highly regarded in these control maps. 5 seconds in, gates will be unleashed. We shall see what happens. Best of luck to both teams.
Exactly, so both teams actually running a bunker-based style composition, but on the side of No Mercy, they are running a double sniper version of it rather than the Pharah Mercy, to which to which the side of Meta Esketi is playing. So it's on the side of the Ashe and the Hanzo to potentially get it. Boone actually getting way too aggressive right there. Gets booped out and instantly destroyed. Mikazuki is gonna probably get a large amount of free reign to just try and poke it, and Meta Esketi probably good. Yep, Meta Esketi is gonna get the first cap onto the board.
Yeah, when you die as a tank, you basically wasted most of your meat shield, and I think that Boone forgot that he has the mobility of an overweight horse, so no real way to escape there when you get endangered and if no one can heal for you. So be a reset here, but they're all back. In the meantime, though, they bunkered themselves here. Meta Esketi in the corner with the Orisa shield. Oh, what an arrow
gets an
from
early
Rainy.
kill onto Ryo, but Mikazuki is 91% onto that barrage right there, so he might be able to. Oh, Rainy gets a kill onto Mikazuki. That's 2 for him right now. They are taking their time to actually push onto the point right now, which gives the side of Meta Esketi the time to actually reset or potentially get a pick. Mikazuki does have the barrage, and the fight is on the point. Here comes the
Dragon Strike. Oh, he threw around from the backside. He just tried to fire into the back group. He takes down.
Very good play. Very good play coming out of Vinny right there, just isolating the tank and the Mercy, and then just killed the rest of the supports. So a very fast retake right there coming out on the back of Rennie's great Hanzo play right there. Coming into the next fight, you can see King Penguin switches off that Diva, going for the Roadhog actually, trying to get for more picks, but that might seem a bit weird considering the fact that the side of No Mercy is playing a double sniper, which generally plays all the range.
I wanted to quickly add about the sniper play before the fight starts. He knew they were hiding in the back, so he hit parallel to that and fired the Dragon Strike, and didn't have enough time to realize where it was coming from before they were affected by it. So Brinny did a fantastic play there. But anyway, I said that. On to the next point now. Seems to be a very far combat. They're firing from across the Sanctum and the Gap here. And Meta Esketi are just kind of hiding behind the safety of the wall, trying to slowly
They're
edge their
hiding
way
behind the
on.
safety of the wall because Pigeon actually got an early pick onto Mikazuki right there, and they didn't have the rest to try and back it up. Oh, the Roadhog got slapped. Here comes the fire. Here comes a nano boosted Sparrow. Let's hopefully it gets something. Yeah, it does. There's a double kill, but instantly gets ran over by a. King Penguin gets the hook onto a nano boosted Diva right there. That's a lot of value from a Roadhog, and they are going to be able to cap it back, but just before it hits 70%.
It was funny that Mikazuki was able to get the picks, not by using the barrage, but just by using a raid. So Nano Boost did help out there, and I think that whatever the Zenyatta's name was, Pigeon, was able to use Transcendence, so the barrage couldn't do anything. But in saying that, Meta Esketi do have the point back, and they're bunkering themselves back up again. Mikazuki is now on fire, but Moira Man will be able to protect him. Oh, almost doesn't make it back up there, but luckily he's still just in time. Supercharger coming out from Boone.
Here comes a Supercharger and a Dragon. Let's see if it gets anything this time around. Unfortunately, it does not. And the team of Meta Esketi currently bunkering inside the point, but unfortunately...
Battle of the Bobs!
They left the point long. They left the point long enough that they left the point long enough that No Mercy was actually just able to bully them off the point. I'm not sure why they rotated inside the left side there, but that might have just cost them the map, as the points does tick up to 85%. They have no choice but to get onto the point as fast as they can. R&D switches off the Orisa to the Wrecking Ball, just going to be able to just swing onto the fight right now.
I think what was funny about that is that both Bobs just firing at each other. I thought that was really funny. But anyway, as I say that, here comes a Nano Blade. No, not yet. They just have to put a Nano Boost onto the Genji. No Nano Blade. Only 88% there.
Does no kills there yet, but Mikazuki does get the kill on the Flippy. That's one DPS player down. King Penguin gets a kill on the Penguin. Pigeon has another one down, and does the boop onto Boone. As you said before, Ryo gets the very crucial boop, and the Meta Esketi from the brink of just about to get defeated actually punishes back with 78%. This is going to be one fight territory, and it seems that Meta Esketi is in the driver's seat. You can see that Mikazuki does have that Dragon Blade, and King Penguin does have the whole hog. Mare Peach, Prayer Punch has no choice but to actually jump off the map to reset with the team. So they're not going to have a Diva in this upcoming fight, and on top of that, they have no support also to stop this Dragon Blade.
They don't at all. When they have a Dragon Strike, but that can't really do much.
Here comes the Dragon Blade. It's gonna have to be huge. It gets a kill on the Riddy. It gets a kill on the Flippy. RD gets a smash on the Flippy. Boon's the only one left. Mare Parch and Pigeon, the only two on the point. As long as they get taken out successfully without losing anyone. Yep, and that's all she wrote. And Meta Esketi, after a after a quick switch onto the Wrecking Ball, manages to take it 100 to 99, but that was a very back and forth fight.
Oh, it was definitely. We definitely saw skill at both teams, but again, there still isn't really anything there to counter the Genji Blades. As soon as Rini fired the Dragon Strike, which found no one, he was left on his own because he tried to move to get the Dragon Strike in a good position, and Mikizuki was just able to take him out. So again, it's just high risk, high reward, but when the risks don't pay off, he basically did because Mikizuki will jump right on it. So 1-0 in favor of Meta Esketi. We were now moving on to Village. No, not Village.
Shrine.
This is Shrine. We are now moving on to Shrine. And not really many group opportunities here because we don't really see much fighting over the right side. But
Meta Esketi running the the Sombra Goats right now. Sombra Goats, if you're gonna run Sombra Goats, this is probably the best map out of the other 3 to actually run it. But on the side of No Mercy, they're running a dive-based composition with the Fire Mercy trying to break down the shield of Arnie and potentially get a pick. Right now, it seems that no, it's not. Well, Boone actually gets taken out extremely early. Arnie gets the charge kill onto Flibby. Or is that the Fire Strike? I can't really tell. I think it's the Fire Strike. But they managed to get the res, but when Button went for the res, Mikazuki can just kill Rini easily if he's low enough. And Meta Esketi gets first hole on the point, and this is very crucial considering the fact that if they don't kill Meta Esketi fast enough, they're gonna accrue percentage, they're gonna accrue points, and it's very hard to kill a whole Goatscom team, before giving up significant percentage.
Yeah, Somber Goats can be very powerful, especially because a lot of
Boone actually got hacked there, and he's hacked right now. He's most likely gonna get taken down if they move fast enough. No, he actually does get healed up, and it seems that Arnie is now the one in trouble, but no, he does get healed up as well. No one, Ryo actually got killed by Mare Parch in that fight right now, but even with the Brigitte done, which is a very heavy source of damage, the whole tanky nature of this composition will just allow them to at least stave off until Boone goes in for another attack to start the engagement. And as he uses the engagement, he already uses his shield. His shield's down right now. They can't realistically push in, and kills himself onto the side here. Here comes a huge graviton, actually hits the shrine, but unfortunately gets nothing. But here comes the res onto Rini. I'm surprised Mikazuki actually let that happen right now, and this fight is still continuing on, even with the fact that No Mercy is in the lead. And as I say that, Mikazuki gets a kill onto Rini, Max VP gets the boop onto Boone.
Oh, nice
kills
pin.
him. That's a huge pin onto Mare Parch. He's down once again, and just like that, even with the fact that No Mercy got very crucial picks that entire fight, just how tanky this composition is, you can see Meta Esketi has 5 ultimates, and this is probably going to be the last fight. And on the side of No Mercy, you don't really have much. You have a Diva Bomb, you have some ultimates, but these aren't game-winning ultimates. These aren't the ultimates that can kill people. And here comes a
hack as
EMP,
well.
and here
And the
comes
Shadow takes down 3. Button is on his own.
This game is
Slept.
done.
Oh, this is just done. Fantastic flex engagement. Benny will just jump off, and that's it. That was a
fantastic play coming out of Meta Esketi, an early EMP while the team of No Mercy was trying to regroup there. It seals the deal for them to take this series 3-2 after losing the first 2. After actually losing the first 2, King Penguin just stole the play of the game from Ryo. Here's the final EMP to seal the whole deal. That's a tremendous EMP. There's another hack. Rini's gonna get. Rini just don't choose to jump off the point. There was no point. You're done at that point. And Meta Esketi, even though being down two maps after the first win, manages to bring it back in very, very good fashion. This is why a lot of teams need to focus on actually control points rather than any other thing, because when it comes to these 2v2 or 3v3 and it goes down to maybe the final match, it is most likely going to be a control point map.
Well, it's definitely very back and forth, but I think Meta Esketi really pulled through and showed their strength in the last couple of maps. You can really see that No Mercy were at a complete disadvantage. Once they couldn't use the Bastion comp anymore, there weren't really any answers. I came in late, so I didn't see the Busan match, which did go in the way of No Mercy or Meta Esketi.
The Busan match went in the way of Meta Esketi. Meta Esketi basically won both these control point maps, and it shows that their Goats composition and their play on these control point maps is much better, I would say, compared to other maps that they have played throughout the series, and it gave them the win.
Definitely. I don't even know what to say. Sorry, I kind of came in a little bit late.
Yeah, I mean it's completely fine, but essentially,
Yeah.
this is I think the main takeaway from this is that Goats competition is still very strong on certain maps, specifically control point games. As a team, if you are going into these sort of tournaments, you want to try and focus control point games, especially if they are the tiebreaker maps, such as the AAOL does, because those are very very crucial. If you're really weak on those, you're basically betting on, sure, I'll lose the first control point map, but I need to win the other three. And if you don't win the other three, you're basically putting yourself to failure if you go for the control point map again in the tiebreaker mode. But enough about that. Let's see who is our player of the match. I think throughout the entire thing right there, I think it's gonna have to be the Diva player. My choice is going to be King Penguin. The number of Diva bombs that he had was pretty decent actually. I think he got like a couple of 3Ks. On top of that, he was being able to support some of his teammates and also get some crucial picks at certain times throughout the entire series.
I agree with you, but I'm gonna have to pick a different player of the match for me. My one was Mikazuki. Mikazuki's nano blades
Yeah,
were
completely. Yeah, that's
something. They were something very special. He was able to get in there, and even with the immortality field there, he focused it, nano boost, reduced damage, so good teamwork there. But his mechanical skill and being able to just single out the support heroes and take out the people that he needed for defense or for a push, very good skill to have, very good what's the word, asset to have on your team. So great job, Mikazuki. Great job, Meta Esketi. And that wraps us up for today. So Meta Esketi are the winners, 3 points to 2. And thank you very much for tuning in. Raidbreaker, I hope you're sorry, Blackburn rather. Let me start again. Raidbreaker, thank you very much for broadcasting the match. And Blackburn, thank you for doing the first map on your own. And we will all see you next time. As has been Sandshark and Blackburn. Be sure to join the Discord and follow the Twitch channel for any more updates on more broadcasted matches, or if you would like to participate in AAOL. We do have a OW recruitment channel if you would like to join a team and get involved in this yourself. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. This has been a AAOL game from AOE. This is Sandshark and Blackburn signing out.